ConnecTogether creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, ConnecTogether, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative. Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobby Seal-Kobiski. Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson. Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff. And other initiatives, including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Thursday's workout. Today we are working on some strength and cardio. For those who don't know me, I am Sierra from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. Like I was saying, we are going to get into a bit of a cardio circuit. You don't really need any equipment unless you want a little bit of equipment in terms of like a little bit of lightweight. And then we are going to get into some strength. So mostly dumbbell work. You could modify it into using bands or just doing the movement without any weight. So we're going to get into that. But first, we're going to start with a warm up. To start, we're going to work with a breathing exercise and then get from there. So we're going to do some square breathing today. So thinking about 4 inhales, hold for 4, 4 exhales, and then 4-second holds. For each, and then holding at the bottom. So to start, we're going to do 4 inhale, breathing in through the nose. Then you're going to hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. And doing one more round on your own here. Then going back to regular breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, thinking about trying to get into the belly now, inhaling, expanding just the belly. Exhaling all the way down towards the ground. Inhale. And exhale. Good. We're going to start into the neck to start warming up the body. So tucking that chin in, looking up and down. And looking left and right. Good, and tipping right ear to right shoulder and then switching. Good, and then we're gonna go into right arm is gonna go up, left arm back. And then we're gonna switch. Good, and then we're gonna bring both arms up, squeezing those elbows, and then pressing all the way up. Good, and then we're gonna bring arms out front, and then all the way back. So arms out in the front, and then opening up that chest. And then we're going to bring arms out to the sides, palms up towards the ceiling, and you're going to touch your shoulders. You're going to roll those shoulders forward, so elbows come forward, and then you're going to open up those arms again. And then we're going to reverse. So arms, hands to shoulders, roll those shoulders to the side, and then open up. Okay. We'll keep going in that motion. Trying to make big circles. Yeah, now we're going to go hands to shoulders and start drawing circles with those elbows. Starting in one direction. And then switching directions. Yeah, then we're going to reach to the left. And then we're going to switch, opening everything up on the sides there. And one more to the left. And to the right. And then you're going to tuck that chin in and you're going to roll down through the spine. You can either stop at your lap or roll all the way to the ground. So tucking that chin in, rolling all the way down. Then to get to the bottom, you're going to hold. Inhaling, expanding those ribs in the back. Exhaling all the way to the ground, doing 2 more breaths here. And on your exhale, you're going to slowly roll up. And from here, we're going to go into a hip hinge. So placing hands on those hips and hinging forward. You're seated, going as low as you want. If you're standing, slight knee bend. Good. Shooting that butt back. Keeping that back nice and straight. And going as low as feels good. And you can keep that spine up, keep that chest up. Good. And then you're going to go into some hula hoops. So going in one direction, drawing circles with those hips. Good. And then you're going to switch directions. And switching directions one more time. And one more time back to the other side. Nice. Okay, we are going to switch into some dynamic movements. So for those of you who are with us today, I'm not going to use any equipment just to show you without equipment, but feel free to add things that make sense. So the first movement, and I'll go through each movement as we go, but we're going to go 3 rounds, 30 seconds each. The first movement is a ski erg movement. So if you have bands up high that you can use, you could totally use the bands. But if you don't, you can also just use the motion. So with a ski erg, our handles are up high. We're going to pull all the way back and down as if we are cross-country skiing. Same motion is going to be for that band that you're using. If you want, you can add some light weights to that movement, but otherwise, that is the movement we're going to start with. So we are going to start here. And then I think we have 8 exercises we're going to go through. So first one, 30 seconds, just nice and light. So, and we're going. So pulling down. I see Jen's Snap to your band. Good. Good. So nice and smooth. Keep those shoulders down. Okay, and then we're going to switch into swimming. So we're going to swim forwards. So this is where if you want to add some weight for a little bit of a challenge, you can, but we're just opening up that chest, pushing water away, and then coming back. Good, so 30 seconds here. Nice, and then we're going into boxing, so just punching out front. Add some weight if you want. So nice and light for this first round, just getting used to that movement, warming up. Awesome. Okay, then we're going to go into adapted burpees. So we're going to bring arms all the way up. We're going to hinge forward, reach down. So reaching all the way up, reaching down. Good. So this hinge motion is going to be important. Keeping that back nice and straight. And reaching all the way down. For those who don't want to go and down, you can just reach up and then reach down. Good. And switching into speed bags. So here you can go in one direction or the other. You can keep it simple and be nice and close to the body. The further away from the body and the higher, the harder it is. Just keeping those shoulders down. Adding speed if you'd like. Good. Yeah, and then we're going to punch up and then punch out. So punching up, punching out. Good. So getting all those movements in the shoulders now. And then we're switching to jacks. So going all the way up, feel free to do a step if you're seated or standing and want to add that step. Nice. Good, 5 seconds. And then we're going to go into big swims. So doing nice big motions here, like you're swimming forwards. If you want to add both arms, getting in that twist of the spine. Good. So 10 seconds here, and then we're going to rest. Then we're going to do it again. Okay, we're resting there. Grab some water. That's when you're nice and light. So start. We got about 30 seconds of rest here. And then we're going into our ski ergs again. So 15 seconds. This round, we're going to add a little bit of speed. So now that we're warmed up, hopefully you can do that. Okay, and we are jumping right into ski erg. So bringing those arms up and then down. So adding dumbbells, adding a band, whatever feels good. Finding a little bit of speed, whatever that means. Good. Nice, squeezing those shoulder blades as those arms come down and going into your breaststroke. Nice. Opening up that chest, squeezing those shoulder blades as you bring those elbows back. 10 seconds. And we are boxing in front. Nice. "15 seconds here. Add a bit more speed. Good. Shoulders away from the ears. And switching into those adaptive burpees, reaching up, reaching down as low as you want to go with that hip hinge. For some, it might be reaching up and just reaching down. Good. 15 seconds. Keep that chest up. Good, and switching to speed bags. Finding some speed. Maybe adding some height and getting away from the body. Good, 15 seconds. And punching up and punching out. Nice. Good transitions. "15 seconds. Good, and adding those jacks. So remember, you can add the legs in here if you're seated or standing with a step and a step. Stepping out and stepping back in. Good. We have one more movement and then we get a rest. Good. 3, 2, 1, and nice big swimming strokes. And adding that rotation if that feels good. 15 seconds. Nice work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and resting. Grabbing some water. Making sure we're breathing here. Got about 30 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds here. We are going into your skiers. We're gonna go one more round. Hopefully by now we're warmed up. Okay. Switching into your ski ergs and go. So bringing those arms up and down. Adding speed. Remembering to breathe here, keeping that chest up, head is up. Good, and switching to breaststroke. Just work, adding some speed. Opening that chest, squeeze those shoulder blades back. Good, and switching to boxing. Add some speed. Switch your last round of cardio. Good, and switching to adaptive burpees, reaching up, hinging forward. Nice, keeping that spine nice and straight. Hinging forward, chest is up. Five seconds here. Good, and speed bags. Good, add some speed. Maybe switching directions. Okay, and punching up and punching out. Nice work. Adding speed. Just one more notch. Good. Squeezing those shoulder blades every time we come back to center. Good, and jacks. Add those footsteps if you're seated or standing, and can do so. Otherwise, bringing those arms all the way up, as high as we can. Adding speed. Okay, and going into nice big swim forward. Adding that rotation if you can. Just keeping the body moving. Good, breathing through this last 10 seconds. And rest. Good work. Okay, we are doing 1 minute of rest. So grab some water. And also grab your dumbbells if you have them. Okay, so we have about 30 seconds left. We are switching into some strength. So starting with some overhead press and lateral raises. So we're going to superset them. So we're going to do overhead press for 12 to 15 reps. Now, like I was saying, I believe a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how many reps we should be doing. If you have lightweight, you can probably do 12 to 15 reps. If you have heavier weights, feel free to drop that down to 8 to 10 reps, depending on the weight you're using. So for reference, I'm using nice and light 2-pounders so I can get through a bunch of classes. But if you have heavier and you do want to use heavier, feel free not to do as many reps. Depending on time, we're going to do 2 to 3 rounds of all of these. So we're going to start with overhead press. Okay, so bringing those Arms, we did this one a couple weeks ago. We have elbows are gonna stay at shoulder height. Palms are gonna be out towards me, and then we're gonna press. And we're gonna come back down to just shoulder height instead of dropping those elbows. So keeping those elbows up. So I'm gonna do 12 today. Feel free to go up to 15 or 20, or dropping those reps with your heavier weights. Good. Exhale as we press up. Good, and my last one here, and we're gonna rest. Good, then we're gonna switch into lateral raise, so bringing those arms out to the sides, and then bringing arms up to shoulder height, keeping those shoulders down as we pull up. Good. So nice and easy up, slow on the down. Nice and controlled exhale as you bring those arms up. Halfway. Good, we got two more here. And we're resting. Good. Okay, we're gonna take 30 seconds and we're gonna go back to the top. I forgot to mention, if you want to add some music behind the scenes, feel free to do that. You can just follow along with me. Okay, we got 15 seconds. So supersets, doing 2 exercise back to back, no rests until we do our 2.
Sierra, your voice is music to me.
Thanks, Janice. Okay, we are going into overhead press. Bringing those elbows up to shoulder height and pressing up. Exhale as we press, squeeze those shoulders as we come down. Nice and slow on the down, especially if you want an extra challenge halfway. And 2 more. And last one. And we're resting, switching into lateral raise right away. So bringing those arms up to shoulder height and then back down. Remember, we're going to slowly lower back down. Exhale as we pull those arms up. Good, halfway. Good. 2 more here. Slow on the down, being nice and controlled, and we're resting. Good work. Okay, taking our break here. Grab some water if you need, stretch it out a bit. Okay, we're gonna go one more round with overhead press and lateral raise. And then to spice things up, we're gonna add a hold at the end of this one. Okay, so going back into our overhead press, elbows at shoulder height, pressing all the way up as we exhale. Good, remember elbows are stopping at shoulder height. Good. 2 more here. Nice. And we're relaxing, switching into lateral raise. Okay, exhale as we bring those arms up, slow down. And then get ready for a hold at the end. Good. We got 2 more. And last one. Good. Then we're going to bring those arms up one more time. We're going to hold here for 30 seconds, starting now. Nice work. Keep those shoulders down, away from the ears. Thinking about utilizing all those shoulder muscles to keep you strong and upright. Halfway. Good. Checking your form, keeping those arms out as stable as you can. Good. And dropping the waist. Nice work. Okay. We are taking a minute break here. Next one we're going to do is you have 2 options. You have band pull aparts if you have a band, or a bent over row. And then we're going to do a front raise as our other exercise. So deciding whether we want a band or some dumbbells for the bent over row or band pull aparts, and then dumbbells for your front raise. Also could be done all with bands. So again, we're going to do 12 to 15 reps. If you're using lightweight, less reps if you have heavier weights. I'm going to use the band pull parts for this first round, and then I can show you a bent over row for the next one. Okay, so grabbing our bands, if we're using bands. So band pull aparts, first one we're going to do is arms out front. We're going to pull that band across, keeping those arms straight, squeezing those shoulder blades back. We're getting into the back muscles this time. Good, adding resistance. So I've wrapped my hands up a bit here to add a little bit of resistance. Or if you need less, bringing those arms out further with the band. Okay. Bringing those hands closer for more resistance. Yeah, we are halfway here. Good. And we are resting there. Okay, we're going to go into front raise. We're going to do single arm front raise here. So we're going to start right side, bringing that arm up to shoulder height, and then slowly lowering. The goal here is also to stay nice and stable as we raise that arm. So really isolating that shoulder and that muscle. Good. Exhale as we come up, slowly lower. Trying not to add a swing into it. We just want to go nice and slow up, nice and slow down. Nice. And we are switching sides. So nice and stable. Arm is down towards the ground. Trying to keep everything from not moving except for that arm. Exhale as you go up, slowly lower it as we inhale. Nice work. We got 2 more here. Good. And we are resting. Okay, grabbing water. We got 30 seconds. For those who don't have a band and want to know what bent over row looks like, I will do that next. And those who are staying with your bent over or your band pull parts, you can stick with that. So in the bent over row, the hinge is super important. So what we're going to do is you're going to hinge forwards, whether you're seated or standing. And arm is going to be down towards the ground, and you're going to pull that dumbbell back. But notice everything's staying nice and level with those shoulders. So spine's nice and straight, chest is up, shoulders are level. We're not rotating out as we pull. We're trying to keep everything stable and isolated as we pull up. You can do this single arm or both arms. Up to you. I have a little bit of balance issues, so I'm placing my hands on my lap to keep me stable. And if you're standing, adding a little bit of knee bend. And really squeezing back, holding, and then bringing that arm back down towards the ground. And single arm, you're going to get a little more isolation in that muscle. Double arm, you're definitely using a lot more to stabilize. And for those who are doing band pull parts, feel free to follow along with reps or do your own reps here. We're switching side if you're following along with me. Good. Again, hinging forward, keeping that chest up. Shoulders are nice and level. Good. And resting there. We are going into our front raise. So single arm here, we're going to try and isolate everything as we bring that arm up and then back down. Yeah, keeping everything nice and stable. Good, and those who are doing single, we're switching arms. Good, so a little bit of core engagement here as well. So thinking about belly button towards spine, whether you can do that or not, really thinking about it. Good, and last one. Nice, and we're gonna rest there. Grab some water if you need. I'm going back to the band pull parts for our final round. Feel free to stay at your bent over row if that feels good to you. I'm gonna modify a little bit and change it up a bit. So this next one, we're gonna do diagonal band pull parts for those who are following with me. So we are gonna go arms in front, pulling that band, one lower, one higher into the shape of a side of an X. So, and if you can't keep both your arms nice and straight, maybe add a bit or get rid of a bit of resistance as you keep those arms straight. You should still feel that squeeze. Good, and then we're gonna switch sides. Play around with your resistance here. And we are resting. Okay, switching into front raise, we're also going to add a hold at the end, so we'll get ready for that. So front raise, if you want, feel free to do a double arm, but I'm sticking to our single arm. One thing I'm going to add here, I'm going to bring the other arm out to the side as we do front raise. Feel free to add weight to that if you want, but this is just another way to challenge yourself and your balance. So that other arm staying nice and stable here, like you're holding something in your hand. And I have two more here. And I am switching sides. Nope, front raise, there you go. So arms going out in front, other arm is holding out to the side. Halfway here, exhale as you bring that arm up. Nice, and we are resting. Actually, no, we're not, we're doing a hold. So we're bringing those arms out in front. If you have a balance, feel free to hold those weights. If not, just bring those arms out front and we're gonna hold here for 30 seconds. Starting now. Nice work, keeping those shoulders down. Chest lifted, remember to breathe. Trying to isolate all the muscles in the shoulder and the back to help you stay stable. Belly button towards the spine, help with core stability. Nice work. And we're resting. Okay. Grabbing some water. We are gonna finish with some biceps and triceps. One variation with the triceps, so two different options that you can do there. For the bicep curl, we are going to use some dumbbells. You can also use bands with placing the band under your feet or your chair. Otherwise, dumbbells works totally fine. So bringing those dumbbells up to shoulder height. What we're going to change here is we're going to rotate those palms toward me and then slowly lower down towards the ground. So bringing palms up to the shoulders, rotate, and then back down. Good. So staying nice and slow as we lower, so we get a little bit of that reverse curl effect on the way down. Nice. So as much of a reverse as you can. Yeah. We are going to go up to 15 here. So that's 12. And last one. Good. And we're resting there. Okay, some options here for your triceps. So triceps, you could do a tricep dip on your chair, on the couch. Up to you. So your first option, no equipment, doing some tricep dips. Okay, so just pushing down on whatever surface that you're seated on and pressing up. So that's first option. If you have Dumbbells, you can go or band. You're going to go into your hinge position, go into that row, and then you're going to kick back with those dumbbells. So keeping that elbow, you're bending and then straightening. Or if you want to spice it up a bit, you can go into arm is going to be up over by the head, dumbbell is just behind, and then you're straightening that arm. Okay, so 3 different options. I'm going to start with the tricep dips. For some variation, I'm going to do 10 tricep dips. Up to you. And so we are moving. So exhale. If you are raising those dumbbells, exhale if you're pushing up. Good. Exhale. And 10. Nice work. Okay, 30 seconds of rest here, and then we're going back to your bicep curl to reverse curl. Okay, we got 15 seconds here. Remember to grab water if you need. Stretch it out a bit. Okay, and getting right into our bicep curl, reverse curl. So shoulders, really emphasizing squeezing down and back as we bring those dumbbells up to shoulder height. Rotate those wrists, and then bring those hands down towards the ground. Good. Nice and slow on the lower. Or exhale as we bring those arms up to shoulders. So we got 5 more here. Nice. And switching into tricep. So tricep dip, tricep kickback, or over the heads. Because tricep kickback, various different directions that you can go, as long as we are targeting the back of the arm. So I'm going to go into tricep kickback, doing a single arm, but feel free to do double arm. Whatever feels good. So again, if you're staying in this kickback position, keeping those shoulders nice and level, which I'm doing a terrible job of. There we go. Keeping that chest up and isolating that tricep. And I am switching sides here, going into that row position and kicking back. Good. And exhale as you go out. Good. And resting. We are going to go into a hold, so optional hold, whether you're going arms overhead, arms out to the side, arms in front, maybe arms are bent in a field goal position, up to you. But we are holding here for 30 seconds wherever you're at. Nice work. And then we're gonna go into some stretching. So staying nice and strong in those shoulders, in that back, whatever you're doing with the fold. Belly button towards the spine. Good, and we are resting. All right, we're gonna go into some stretching. So chilling where you are. We're gonna go into some wrist stretching to start. So whether you're on the ground or against a wall or using your hands here. For those on the ground or on the wall, you can bring your hands onto the ground or wall and kind of rock into those wrists. So that's the option, or just manually doing it with your hands. Kind of playing around with what that does. You're doing single arm, you're holding for 30 seconds. I'm holding for 30 seconds, both my hands. Yeah, so against the wall or ground, you're really trying to get that full hand onto that wall or ground. Putting a little weight into it, you'll feel it in those forearms. Good, and relaxing there. We're gonna go into the neck. So tucking that chin in, nose to right armpit. You can bring that left arm behind you or relax it. Using that right hand to bring the head down lower if you feel you need a little more. See how much closer you can get that nose to the armpit now. Good, slowly releasing that and switching sides. Tuck that chin in and to the left. Relax that right side, bring that right arm behind if that feels good. Use that left hand to help pull the head closer if that feels good. And slowly release that. We're going to bring an arm across the body, get into the deltoid. So using right arm across the body, left hand at the elbow and pulling across. Playing around with that angle to get some stretch in the deltoid. And switching sides. Good. Going into triceps, you can do tricep one of two ways. You have a band. You can bring that band over the shoulders. And we're trying to bring his hands as close as possible. So one arm going up over and one going behind and back. And you're trying to pull that band apart while trying to bring those hands closer together. You can also simply bring an arm up and pull that elbow towards the head. So two different options here. I am watching the clock. Good, and switching sides. Good. And we can slowly release that. We are going to go into our final stretch here, into a lat stretch. So whether you have a table or a desk or a wall in front of you, you're going to place both hands on it. Shoot those hips back as far as you can. Let's let that head dangle down. Pressing weight into those hands. And adding some breath here. So thinking about expanding the back of the ribs, trying to open up those ribs and get some space. Exhale down towards the ground. Holding here for about 15 seconds. Good, and we can slowly roll up. All right, nice work, everyone. Thank you all for joining me today. I am super grateful that you took the time to get some movement in today, so thank you all. Otherwise, I will see you all next week.
Oh, hi, Kaiser.
Hey.
Sierra, you're just an angel. I needed this so badly, and it's the hardest I've worked since my surgery 20 days ago, and it's like I need this so much, and it was perfect. Thank you. I've missed you, and I have to work so hard to I mean, it's a life commitment, right? So
Exactly. Well, I'm glad you could join us, and hopefully I'll see you next week.
yeah, it's on my calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And Kaiser, nice to see you.
Nice seeing you too. See you guys next week.